Thanks for joining us on the program, everyone. Our attention today is turned to Anambra State as we count down to the November 2025 governorship election. The political atmosphere is charged with allegations, reforms, and raised stakes shaping the unfolding drama. First, in a startling development just days before the critical senatorial by-election this Saturday, a coalition of civil society groups has now urged the removal of the INEC resident electoral commissioner. They accuse her of plotting to predetermine the outcome, claiming she already has prepared results favoring a specific candidate. Tonight, we'll also bring you the latest on the Labour Party's governorship flag bearer, Dr. George Moghalu. His defection from the APC last year, his outspoken critic of the incumbent, and his bold one-term promise. We'll dig into his 12-point tech-driven agenda, his take on zoning and political integrity, as well as his honest assessment of the race against the sitting governor with federal support. Stay with us, everyone, as we dissect the pivotal issues, the choices facing people of Anambra ahead of that election, as well as the real prospects for credible governance moving forward. Dr. Moghalu, thank you for joining us on the program this evening.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel, for having me.
My name is Nifemi, so Emmanuel is my producer who's been reaching you.
Oh, sorry.
But you're talking to Nifemi for the next 20 minutes thereabout. You resigned from the APC last year, a party you helped found and even served as its first national auditor. Let's begin from there. What precisely drove that decision?
I've heard this question quite a few times, and I've always provided a simple, very clear answer. Like I've always said, in any political contestations, two issues are very critical. One is the person, two is the platform. For the person, the decision is for me to make. I decided who I want to consult if need be, or I don't consult anybody at all. But the decision is mine to make. But when it has to do with the platform, it involves quite a lot of people, your colleagues, your friends, your political associates, members of your team, and whatever. At the end of the day, me, for example, being somebody guided by loyalty to friendship and loyalty to group decision, after wide consultation, a group came up and said, no, if we are going to contest this election, that the platform we are going to use is the platform of the Labour Party. And I have no choice than to align myself with that decision. And then we moved on to join Labour Party. So it's about realizing the ambition we have set for ourselves. It's about taking a platform that will enable us carrying the Anambra along as we get along. So
I hear you, but your situation is kind of unique because you were also MD of NIWA. You previously ran primaries in 2017 and 2021 on the platform of the APC. Observers suggest you had a more viable path to governorship with that party. Did you leave because you believed you wouldn't get the party ticket?
No, not at all. I'm not somebody, I'm not scared by any situation. If the fear of getting the party ticket was the issue, I wouldn't have even left, because I have the capacity, I have the ability, I have the acceptability to contest and win a party ticket. So that's not the issue. Like I said, it goes beyond that. It requires involving the people you are aspiring to lead. It's about getting their opinion into contention. It's about knowing how they feel with regards to the various political parties. And that was why, like I said, a group met and said, no, after due consultation, after clear understanding of what the political terrain is like, that they think very strongly, and they hold to it very strongly, that the option left for us is for us to use the platform of a Labour Party to contest the election. And we had no choice. I had no choice than accepting the recommendation of the team that I put in place. And then I had to go along with them. So it's not about fear of getting the party ticket, because even in the Labour Party, I contested for the ticket.
Apart from the recommendation of this group that you trust so much, like you mentioned, you have answered this question a couple of times, and at some point you had said, I'm quoting you now, I have resolved to join the Labour Party after a thorough evaluation. The Labour Party aligns with my core values. Can you expand on which APC principles you felt were misaligned with these values? and how Labour Party better aligns with your ideals in this regard?
Principally, the Labour Party is about the people. The Labour Party is about the interest of the majority of the people. We may not be able to meet with the expectation of everybody. All right? But the point is that it is about the people. And one of my core values is looking for an opportunity to be of service to the people. I've always said, for me, it is first the people, second the people, third the people. If not for the people, there's no reason for me to be in public office. There's no need for me to seek for public service. So the point is that Labour Party aligns completely with the interests and welfare of the people of Anambra State, particularly. And that also, like I did say, informed my decision of aligning with Labour Party, because they align with my core principles, which is about the people.
Perhaps we're going to talk more about this subsequently, maybe after this election, because it's also probes further the integrity of the party that you have left, the APC, which is now the ruling party, and whether or not it actually stands for the people, because I doubt if your former colleagues will agree entirely with you in that regard. But you hail from Anambra South, like the incumbent governor, and you've affirmed support for the current zoning arrangement that after this term, the governorship moves to another senatorial district. Why commit to serving only one term? And how firm is that commitment?
Only one term. I have said I'm a beneficiary of the zoning system. And for me, it is sacrosanct. And if the zoning has said that the only what is left for Anambra South to complete its term is 4 years, that I completely align with that commitment. And I stand strongly by it. And I've always said, what you cannot do in 4 years, you cannot do in 8 years, you cannot even do in 12 years. The inability of a leader to have successors to whom he can be confident enough to hand over leadership after his 4 years is failure on its own. So I believe that within 4 years, I should be able to do what I promised on the Anambra and prepare the grounds for whoever will emerge from the next zone, whose turn it will become, to serve the people of the state. So I believe very strongly, and I'm committed to it, and I'm not ready to change that grounds, that in 4 years, I should be able to keep my promise within the Anambra.
Are you aware that there's a rising trend with this one term of a thing? We've heard it from politicians like Peter Obi and a few others who have framed the one-term pledge as virtuous. Do you align with Peter Obi in this regard? Is it an ideology? Is it an ideology for you?
It's not what you must understand about such commitments is a matter of the person. It's not a matter of the platform. Because the platform of Labour will still present candidates as the years go by. Even in the next 20 years, God giving us life, Labour Party will also have candidates. But the point is that it's about the individual. Peter Obi also made his own commitment as Mr. Peter Obi, making a commitment that he will serve only one term. And he is sticking by it. He has said it and he has confirmed it. Just like I did say, I am making myself available. Let the Anambra trust me. I will serve only for one term or 4 years. And I believe, I'm convinced, very, very convinced, that in 4 years, I will leave a legacy. In 4 years, I'll be able to prove to the Anambra State that I mean what I say. And that in 4 years, the promises I'm making to the Anambra, I will deliver on my promises. If I cannot do what I've said in 4 years, even in 8 years, I will not be able to do it.
Unfortunately, it is hard to tell whether Peter Obi is fully with the Labour Party and whether or not we would see the Peter Obi effect, that swept through the Southeast during the 2023 election, replicate itself in this particular election. Is that something that bothers you?
All right. You see, I want to draw your attention to the flag off we had on the 11th of last month. And at that flag off, Mr. Peter Obi, our leader, came out in plain language and said that he is a Labour Party man. and he aligns completely with Labour Party. He aligns completely with me as the governorship candidate of the party in Anambra State, and will do everything within his personal capacity to make sure that we win the election. But the issue of ADC, which you mentioned, is for the 2027 elections. And he painted an analogy. He said, because somebody has offered me dinner, does not mean I shouldn't take breakfast. In this instance, that Labour is breakfast, dinner is ADC. That by the time we get towards 2027, then he will not come out in a position to tell Nigerians, not only in the Anambra this time, whether he is going to run the election on ADC or any of his choice. But the point is that Peter Obi is our leader. Peter Obi is in Labour Party. Peter Obi will remain in Labour Party till after the gubernatorial elections on November 8th, because that is what he said.
Governor Soludo recently described politicians promising single terms as exhibiting mental instability. I'm sure you've heard that. How do you respond to that criticism?
No, it's unfortunate, because actually the person that has mental problem is the person who is in leadership, and insecurity has led to the death of a lot of people. Killings taking place left, right, and center, and you're not addressing the needs of the people. I think that's the person actually who needs a medical evaluation. It is not about somebody making a promise he is certain he will keep.
Well, I guess he hasn't been the only one, talking about this. There are many Nigerians who think it's a product of political desperation for a politician to think of fixing the problem of a state or of an entire country within the period of 4 years.
How many years did the Constitution grant you?
4.
8 years is not a right.
4 in the first instance. Political history teaches us that if you do well,
it's a consequence of the confidence of the people in reference to your performance.
Exactly the point I was making, Dr. Moghalu, that history has taught us that if you do well in the four years, the people automatically trust you with the second term.
If they trust you and you tell them that there are other people who can do the same thing you're doing, what's wrong with that? Because one thing I can tell you about my state, Anambra, where I come from, is that every state in Anambra State has the capacity to generate a federal cabinet. Every state can provide a good governorship candidate in the entire state. So governorship candidates or governorship materials are not lacking in the central, which is the next zone after the south. So also in the north, so also in the south. So every zone, senatorial zone has enough governorship materials or governorship candidates or whatever. So we are not lacking any in terms of human capacity. So if it gets to every zone, the zone will have enough people to present to the Anambra State to make their choice. The truth about it is that second term is not a right.
All right. You've also talked about Anambra needing urgent redemption because Governor Soludo, according to you, has failed the people. You said there is severe lack of infrastructure. According to you, security has collapsed. But his administration is also noted for digital innovation. We have heard about infrastructure projects and awards in ICT. We'll talk more about that shortly after this break. Stay with us, everyone.